Do you have green crap all over your vinyl siding? Nasty green mold, algae, bugs, just the green funk, and you want to get this removed off your vinyl siding? So today I'm going to do a video. This video is going to be how to remove this green off of your vinyl siding. This is going to be, if we just use pressure on this and clean this, it will be back within 3 to 4 months because we're not killing the mold spores in the vinyl siding. So what we can use is a product called sodium hypochloride. It's a pool shock is another name for it, and another name can be bleach. And what we're going to use is a mixture to put on this, and we don't have to use pressure to make sure that this is going to clean this vinyl siding. It will make this stuff look brand new and will not harm anything. Now, with that being said, if we use this improperly, we can kill plants, flowers, all that kind of stuff. So one thing we can do is, if you're not sure that if you got the right mixture is make sure we take a garden hose and wet everything down that might be damaged by these flowers or whatever. Because if we fill the flowers full of water, they won't take the chemical in that. So what we use is I actually have pool shock here. And I have a 5-gallon bucket that I put my pressure washer that will actually pull the soap out in that 5-gallon bucket. I use 3 gallons of sodium hypochloride pool shock and 2 gallons of water. So I diluted it down. This is 10%. So that gets me down around, 5-6%, a little bit more than 6%. Then my pressure washer will downstream 10 to 1. So it cuts it down 10 to 1 off of that again. So I'm less than 1% sodium hypochloride. Now, if you don't know how to do that, you can actually do this with a pump-up sprayer and a garden hose. You don't even need a pressure washer to get this green off. And what you'll do is you'll put about 1/4 to 1/2 a gallon of this here into 2 gallons of pump-up sprayer. And you can pump up sprayer. Now remember, this stuff is chemical. So don't get it in your eyes, don't get it on your hands. It will bleach your clothes out, all that good stuff. But it will kill the mold. So I'm going to show you how it works. So if we're going to use a pressure washer, the first thing we want to do is we're going to soak from the bottom up. The other thing is watch your hazards. If you have a big power meter of it, make sure there's no holes in it. Make sure the silicone's not all bad and that kind of stuff. So what we're going to do, what I'm going to do is I got to get my soap coming out first. I don't like that nozzle. This nozzle is my favorite. It's a 5 degree. So I'm going to sit here and wait for my soap to come out. And you'll watch this green just go away. Now, once my soap's coming out, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to go make a nice pattern all the way across. Or, half of it. I usually try to do a nice pattern across. Give me 2 or 3 slats, another 2 or 3 slats. And what we're going to do is we're going to let the soap do the work. And it's going to do all the cleaning for us. If we use pressure, the pressure is what's going to do the cleaning. And that's not going to work. We want to make sure we get on both sides of the gutter. Sometimes if we don't do that, it won't be right. We're going to go all the way up to the top. And this is the north facing side, so this is the dirty side. I'm going to hit this aluminum siding up here. Sometimes you might have to hit the aluminum siding twice because it's hot, and the heat up there will actually not allow it to dry fast enough. It'll dry too fast on you. And if you're going to do it with the pump-up spray, you just do the same thing. You're going to put a nice coating on it. We don't have to flood it. It's going to be a nice coat. And the important part of this is letting it sit and do its job. Now, the one thing we don't want to do is let this dry on there. We don't want it to dry on there because that can cause oxidation. And that can cause problems. I try to stay away from them power mains. Up above it is one thing, down below. Try not to get too much water in. Always hit this a couple times. And all we're going to do is just put a nice coating on there. Nice coating, nice coating. And I can already see the green going away. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is I got to go turn my soap off. I turn my soap off. Now I have 150 feet of hose here that have soap in it. Some guys will just sit here and spray it on the bottom and wait till that's not what we want to do is. What we want to do is see if there's anything that might need soaked again. Like there's a little bit of green over there still. If there's any green, we want to hit it again while we're cleaning out that soap. The other important part of this is let this sit and dwell. Dwell time is letting that chemical work on that house, and that will make it work better for us. Usually you can let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes depending on how hot it is. The biggest thing is we don't want it to dry on there. If it starts drying on there, rinse it off. And we can rinse this off with a garden hose. You don't have to use a pressure washer to get the green mold off your vinyl siding. All right, so the next thing is when we go to rinse, we're going to rinse from our top down and work our way down, all the way down. First, I'm going to get my soap out of my line. This is what I hit last. Make sure I'm getting all my mold good that I might have missed down there a little bit. All right, then I'm going to start at the top. I'm going to work this piece here because it's kind of my top. Then once I get so far, I'm going to work this half of it. And if there's a bunch of crud coming out of it, I'm going to just sit there and rinse it on down, even big old spiders. Rinse this on down. You know, every slat, I usually take about every slat and just give it a good rinse down. And it makes it look new. And the key is make sure you get all that stuff all off of there. You know, get all the little things that come out. Make sure I got this side here. I'm going to come over here and do this side and work my way down the same thing. You can just see all the dirt and the crud coming off. Just melts off like butter, baby. Makes it look new. We don't have to be real close. You can see that I'm barely getting any pressure on that house. And that's what we want. We don't want a lot of pressure. Pressure damages stuff. Pressure will make it not right. Pressure will give you issues. So we don't want to use pressure. So, if you make it a little weak and you got to go hit it again, that's fine. That's no issue. Again, if you want to learn how to clean houses and vinyl siding, go check out my video. If you wanted to learn how to build a pressure washing trailer and to make money, go check out my videos up here. It's all about a pressure washing trailer that I built for about $3,000 just for pressure washing. See you in my next video.